Hey everyone, this is Like24, and before we go any further, I want to remind you to keep your phone vertical and click that full screen icon. And today I have a really interesting deck for you, and it's an updated deck of one of my previous ones, and it's for a Dark Necrofear deck. Now let me go ahead and show you how I'm playing it. That's not it. Alright, so basically I made it to where it's a little bit aggro, and to where it's more of a beatdown deck than anything else. And in this particular version, we're running 2 Dark Necrofears, 3 Sphere Kuriboh, 2 Trance Archfiend, and I'm thinking I want to buff it to 3, but I just gotta keep playing and see how it works. But for now, we're running 2, 3 Flash Assailants, and 2 Doomdog Octhros, 1 Monster Reincarnation, 3 enemy controllers, 2 Storm, and 2 Needlebug Nest. So the Needlebug Nest, I do want to run a third one, but I really don't know what to take out. And the Storms, I'm thinking I might switch them out for Tornadoes. I don't know yet. This is like a really early version of the deck. It's not finished by any means, so it's under development right now, and this is one of the versions that I've been trying to play with. But like I said, it's not a finished version yet. It's not like all there yet. It is missing a couple of things, but in the test playing that I've done, I do think that I will be adding another Trance Archfiend somehow. I do have to take something out. Don't really know yet what to take out, but let's go into some replays. The deck plays really good, and overall, I haven't played it in competitive yet. Most of them have been casual, and I think it's gonna be a decent competitive deck. You could maybe play into low silvers with it, as it is so far, and maybe you might be able to catch some people off guard and maybe go into some gold, but. On the replays, you'll see how the deck will work, and the first one is against 3-star Demotion, and playing against a 3-star Demotion deck, I think it's 50-50 with this deck. You can either win in the first like 1 or 2 turns with enemy controller, and that's a little cool animation they added to the player versus player thing that I enjoyed actually. But anyways, back to the deck. If your opponent goes first and he 3SDs and summons a Barrow Dragon or Dark Magician or whatever, and you have just any monster with an enemy controller, most of the time you're gonna win if he doesn't have any defensive traps. But if he does have a defensive trap, and if he has Barry, then it's really hard for this deck to win. And so there's really nothing much you can do. And in this version, this was like a really early version. I was running this great rider, and then I took the rider out for another Archfiend, a Trance Archfiend. So he's 3-star Demotions, and then he just wins because I can't really do anything else. Like I said, if I would have drawn an enemy controller or something, then I would have won. If that back row wasn't a defensive card, but it's a 50-50 against a 3SD. And this Bandit Keith. Let's see what he does. Summon a little 5 or 6 monster. You must first tribute 1 monster inside of the field. This animation is so cool. Playing an LOB, Legend of Blue Eyes. Alright, so I'm going second. Oh, and the skill I'm using Destiny board, like I said. It's not a completed deck, and I actually forgot to switch the skill. I think I want to maybe play a restart, maybe. I'm not entirely sure yet. Alright, Magical Mallet, and I have no clue why he's playing Magical Mallet, so... Alright, so... Got an Archfiend, just attack the Windstorms. I mean, okay. And I think the way that I'm playing like too conservative. I think in this particular against this particular game, I should have just Trance Archfiend and got rid of the Dark Necrofear, and then get summoned the Flash Assailant to be at 2,000. And here he summons Kaiba, summons Blue Eyes. But overall, I think playing conservative does pay off every now and then. And this is one of the situations where I mean, I could have won a little bit faster, I think, because I do have I did draw another Dark Necrofear, and we do have 2 now. So I think it's safe for you to go ahead and discard the one whenever you do need it. And that was an amazing Needlebug Nest because I just got lucky and was able to send a ton of fiends to the graveyard. So I'm actually able to summon both of them, I think, and I just love this animation. It's so creepy, and I don't know, I just like it overall. Alright, summon Dark Necrofear, remove another 3 fiends, summon another Dark Necrofear. And I think it's really cool how Trance Archfiend works, to where you can get something that's removed from play back to your hand. And I think that's one of the things that I'm enjoying about it, and the reason why I want to run 3, because you can get your Sphere Kuribohs back whenever you remove them for Dark Necrofear. Here, enemy control and attack the game. And enemy control is such a, it's an amazing card. It just steals games, and especially against running against a deck that runs high-level monsters like a Blue Eyes deck, or a 3SD deck, or whatever have you. It's really good. Alright, a Paradox Brother. I don't remember if he was playing 3SD. I don't think he was, but let's see. And this is the first 5 games that I played. I didn't cherry pick them or anything. They're just the first 5 games that I've had with the deck. So I don't remember if I lose or if I win. But again, like I said, I don't cherry pick the videos. I just go in and record the first 5 games I have, and then that's the video. Alright. So Trance Archfiend set enemy controller, and then I have the Sphere Kuriboh. And sometimes running the Assailant, I can't get it to where it plays like super consistent to where he's always 2000. I mean, if you go aggressive, like I said, using Trance Archfiend and ditching the Dark Necrofear, you could. But if for some reason I'm always trying not to do that, I'm always trying to summon the Dark Necrofear, and I always draw the second one too. So we could have, or I could have played it more aggressively, and I think I'm not playing as aggressive as I should be, because by nature I'm just a conservative player. So I do need to be playing more aggressive with this deck, since we do have now 2 Dark Necrofears. Alright, so attack. So he's playing some sort of Magnet Warrior deck, and I think this was actually a really long game, I think, when I was actually playing it, because he just had a ton of outs, and then I attacked into the Yomi ship, which the Dark Necrofear doesn't really target anything. But this replay makes it seem to where it's really not as long. But I won with the Octhros, with the dog. Alright, so that was the Paradox Brothers. So the next one would be against Yugioh. Let's see. I think was it? No, it was, never mind. But the addition to a second Dark Necrofear is amazing, and I'm gonna keep test playing with it, and hopefully I'll get you some more gameplay with it, with a more finished versions. And if you have some edits on this deck, I would truly appreciate it. You leave me a comment down in the comment section below to what your deck list is. And I did consider Palabyrinth. However, Palabyrinth in this deck doesn't really do much. Although it would get the Assailant to like 23 or 25, I can't remember what Palabyrinth gives. So it would make him extremely strong. But Palabyrinth in this deck would just be like a win more type of card. It won't really do much since the Assailants are already at 2000 by themselves. And the Dark Necrofear is 22, and then you run the 3 enemy controllers, so you really don't need the Palabyrinth. You can run it if you like, but I think I myself, I'm not gonna run it in this particular version. They do give us another Palabyrinth. I'll probably make a Summon Skull deck and run it with Summon Skulls and Archfiends. So able to summon Dark Necrofear, and this was a long duel too. And here, like I said, I'm playing super conservative again, and I should have been trying to attack the Command Magician, but then he would have activated to where he negates the effect of a monster card targets his one card, and I didn't want to do that. And at first I thought I could do it, but then I read the card, I'm like, oh wait, you can't. And I didn't know that the Sphere Kuriboh was gonna, since I guess Kuriboh doesn't target it, I don't know why it works, but that Sphere Kuriboh is able to switch him to defense, so that's fine. That's a Dark Magician animation. They should have made it to where it was like a better animation, maybe. I think it's kind of plain for it to be like Dark Magician's like the face of Yu-Gi-Oh, so it should have been a little bit better. And here she's just trying to survive, and I attack, and I do attack into the Twister, I think. Yeah, I do attack into a Twister. But again, he can't really do anything, and he would do is summon a Dark Magician, and I do attack with a Dark Necrofear into the Dark Magician so I can get it back. And here's the Archfiend working, and I have 2 Sphere Kuribohs now thanks to the Trance Archfiend. And here I'm able to summon another Dark Necrofear. And the Ladybugs, I don't think you should be playing them as much, as there are not many people playing a lot of level 4s. Because there's a lot of card variety now, and people are just playing a ton of different cards now. And like I said, this aren't like high tier games. And here he surrendered. I don't know why it said failed down there, but it said the opponent surrendered when I was playing against him. Alright, this last one. But overall, I think the deck, even though it's a lot of these are casual gameplays, I do think it does have some like the ability to be competitive, because Dark Necrofear's effect it's tremendous, and it can turn the game just by attacking into something. It's basically a relinquish whenever you attack, or whenever Dark Necrofear gets destroyed. And the Dark Necrofear by itself, it's already 22. So it's a really good attack. The only thing that I've encountered so far playing in casual, it's that some of the hands are kind of deadish, and like you can see on this hand, it's not a great hand, but trying the Dark Necrofear made it to where it worked, and I got extremely lucky because I did draw it. But there could be occasions when you just don't draw anything. Although the deck does mill kind of fast, but I still need more tweaking around and make it. Alright, so my camera accidentally turned off because I wasn't touching the screen. So, but what I was saying is it does need a little bit more tweaking to where it can be a little bit more competitive. Alright, so I'm playing against Super Obvious Reptinias. He gets Kuriboh, then I enemy controller it. I set this one of the Sphere Kuribohs to tribute. It tributes with enemy control, which is fine because I ended up getting rid of the Reptinias. Now here I have a Needlebug's Nest, and I really don't want to activate it because there's really no point. I only have 7 cards, so I go ahead and storm it. And if I didn't have storm in that occasion, the Needlebug Nest would be dead. So it's one of the reasons why I kind of don't want to get rid of storm. But whenever I have storm, I sometimes have no, I accidentally went into that. But whenever I have when I have storm, I have an enemy control, and I don't want to get rid of it, but I need to get rid of the back row. So, I don't know, maybe put in Nobleman of Extermination, maybe I'll give it a try with some of that. But I do need to tweak it out a little bit. And like I said, if you want to help me out, go ahead and leave me a comment down in the comment section below. Or if you already have like a different deck list of the deck, I'd truly appreciate it if you let me know what that is, so I can go ahead and try it out and see how it worked. And I did try it out with the Display Riders, but I think this version's a little bit better. But I think for now that's gonna be it for today. And if you are enjoying my videos, I do highly suggest that you do subscribe. And if you like this particular video, I would truly appreciate if you leave a like. And like I always say, if you do dislike my videos, go ahead and leave a dislike and let me know why it is that you dislike it. And also let me know if I had any misplays during my gameplay, and that way we can go ahead and get better. But that's gonna be it for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow.